Hey y'all, it's Liz Gray. I wanted to walk you through how to renew your FAFSA for this school year 2021-2022. Okay, so once you log into FAFSA.gov, you'll come to this part right here. We are going to click I am the student, and you're going to enter your FSA ID. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I put this in correctly. And your FSA password. We're going to push next, read through that and accept. Okay, so hopefully you're watching this because you need to renew your FAFSA that you submitted 2021 to 2022. And here it shows that we are logged in as Harvey, last name Rapp. And we are going to make sure we have 2021 to 2022 clicked. And we are going to start over so that you can see it from the beginning. Start a new FAFSA. Go ahead and create a save key. I always just put a 4-digit code, and for this I'm using 1234. You can make it whatever you want. This allows you to, if you need to step away from the application, you can save it and log out, and then when you log back in, you'll put in the save key and it will take you back to where you need to go or where you left off. Okay, just remember to have patience with this website. And here is some more information. If you have questions, you can click on it and read it. We're going to push next. Because you're renewing your FAFSA from last year, a lot of the information will be preloaded. So we're just going to verify that everything is correct. If it's not, you can correct it unless it's grayed out. So we're going to put a phone number. I'm going to put my number, which you can always call or text. Next. Make sure the address is correct. So on yours, it will say that, have you lived in Texas for 5 years? And then answer your U.S. citizen question. Next. So the first question is, what will your high school completion status be? So if you're renewing your FAFSA, that is my assumption is that you attended college last year. So your high school completion should be high school diploma. What college degree or certificate will you be working on for the 2021-2022 school year? Majority of you will be working on your first bachelor's, so you can choose that. But if you are working towards your associates, just make sure you choose the correct one. If you're working for a certificate or diploma, make sure you select the correct one. For this purpose, we're going to push first bachelor's degree. Will you have your first bachelor's degree before you begin this school year? Most of you will answer no, so make sure that's correct. What will your college grade level be at the beginning of the 2021-2022 school year? Majority of you, like I said, will be in your second year. But if you didn't complete enough hours to be classified as a sophomore, it could be attended college before first year. Okay, so for this example, we're going to put second year sophomore. Are you interested in being considered for a work study? If you are unsure what that is, or for any question in the FAFSA, you can always push these question marks. It will open a tab and explain what that question is asking. Push next. Are you male or female? For this example, we are going to be male. And when you click male, it reminds you that you have to be registered for the Selective Service System. And if you are 18, you have already been registered, so click yes. If you have not registered, click no. If you have your driver's license, write the number here and put the state that you have your license in. These are all questions that are personal to you. Are you a foster youth, or were you at any time in the foster care system? When you are answering questions about Parent 1 and Parent 2, it's up to you who Parent 1 and Parent 2 is. For this example, and from here on out, Parent 1 will be Harvey's father, and he completed high school. And parent 2 will be Harvey's mother, and she completed junior high. Have you ever received federal student aid? So last year, if you received any student loans, grants, anything like that, any work-study funds, then you are going to answer yes. If you choose yes, it will ask if you've been convicted for the possession or sale of illegal drugs for an offense that occurred while you were receiving the federal student aid, where Harvey said no. And it just says that you qualify based on that answer. So we are going to look up our high school. We are going to use Permian High School for this example, and Odessa. Oops, sorry, Texas. We found Permian High School. So over on the left-hand side where you see select, we're going to push that, and it will populate that information. We're going to push next. This is where you can add your colleges, and you can add up to 10 colleges. And we are going to choose Texas again. We are going to go ahead and, for this example, send it to OC and UTPB. So I usually just put the city and the state because it'll pull up any college in that city. So we're going to select both of those. But we are also going to add another school just so we can see what it looks like. So we're going to say Arlington. And we want to make sure we have University of Texas of Arlington selected. And those are the 3 schools I want to send it to. If you want to add more schools, you can click add more schools. Like I said, you could do up to 10. We're going to go next. And for every college that you choose, you have to choose your housing plans. So your choices are on campus, which is in the dorms. With parent is obviously with your parents. And off campus means you're living alone in your own apartment or house. So for Odessa College, Harvey would live with his parents. UTPB live with his parents. UT Arlington, he'd live off campus in his own apartment. Next. Today, we are going to answer what the marital status is for today. Today, Harvey is single. That means he's not married, hasn't been divorced. Then it asks if you have any children who receive more than half of their support from you between those dates, July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022, which is the dates that you're applying for your FAFSA. So Harvey has no children, and Harvey does not have any dependents besides the children and spouse, if you have one, who live with you that receive more than half of your support through those same dates. Harvey does not. So this is where you will determine whether you are an independent or dependent student. So if any of these questions apply to you, then you will check the box next to it. If not, you'll click none of the above. Okay, the next question asks if, as of July 1st, 2020, were you homeless or were you self-supporting, which means you're living by yourself, taking care of yourself, and at risk of being homeless? So Harvey was not. And here it shows that our dependency status, we are a dependent student, means we have to provide our parents information for tax, or their tax information. So we are going to provide the information for the parents. And as of today, the marital status of the parents for Harvey, they are married. And you're going to put the date, the month. Oh my gosh, sorry. The month and the year that they were married. Then you're going to put in your parents' social, which this is just a made-up one provided to us for this purpose. Oops. Parents' last name. It may pre-populate this, it may not. And we are going to make a birthday. I don't know. Oops. He's born in the summer. And you're going to add a parent's email address if they have one. And for parent 2, again, a made-up social. If your parents do not have a social, so let me provide that. So if your parents do not have a social, you will just put in all zeros. And their last name. And first initial, I don't know. And another made up birthday. Okay. So in our questions, when you're filling it out, we'll say Texas, not Maryland. But have your parents lived in Texas for the past 5 years? For Harvey, the answer is yes. This is where you will determine your household size. So it already has your parents and yourself. And as you can see, it's grayed out, and my cursor is the symbol, so I can't click and I can't change that. But here we are going to add any other children, even if they do not live with your parents, if your parents provide more than half of their support during the school year in which you're applying to, and if those children answer no to the dependency questions that we just answered. So we're going to say Harvey has 3 siblings. Then you're going to include anybody that may be living in your household, that all 3 of these are true for that. That they now live with your parents provide more than half of their support, and your parents will continue that support during next school year. So for Harvey's purpose, there is a grandparent living in the household that his parents are taking care of. So we're going to put 1. So that makes the household number 7. And again, we can't change it. Now it's asking how many of those 7 are going to be in school, not including your parents. So it's just going to be Harvey that's in school. So we're going to put a 1 and push next. Okay, it's saying that we will provide the financial information from your parents' 2019 tax return. And for here, you're going to explain whether your parents have already completed and filed taxes, they will file in the future, or they are not going to file. For Harvey's purpose, they already completed it. Then you need to answer what type of return did your parents, complete. You can ask them, but it's also on the top of the tax forms. Most likely, it was the IRS 1040. That's the most common. And for 2019, what filing status did your parents use? For Harvey's, we're going to say married, filing joint. Again, you can ask your parents, but it is also on the tax forms. If your parents have filed taxes and you know their information for the IRS, you can link to the IRS and it will pull the information from the IRS website into the FAFSA. For this purpose, we're going to skip that because we don't know Harvey's parents' information. Skip it. There we go. So your parents' adjusted gross income for 2019, it says this amount is found on IRS Form 1040, line 8B. So thankfully, FAFSA tells you exactly where to look. So if you push the question mark, it will explain what the question is asking, but it also shows an example. So as I said before, at the top, it shows you what form it is. So this is 1040, verify that it's for 2019. And we are going to go down and find 8B. Whatever number is in this blank, we are going to input it here. We're going to say that they made $12,000. We're going to push next. Then we have to specify how much did parent 1 make and how much did parent 2 make. Remember, parent 1 was set up at the very beginning, and we said it was Harvey's father. Harvey's father did all the work and earned all the money, and Harvey's mom gets to stay at home with his younger siblings. So we're going to put 12,000 and 0. We're going to push next. Now it's asking, did your parents file a Schedule 1? If you're not sure what that is, because I don't, push the question mark, and we'll explain what it is and how to answer that question. For the ease of this example, we're going to say no and push next. Do you want to skip the remaining questions about your and your parents' income assets? Yes, we do. Make it easier. If they offer you that, just skip it. Push next. Do you want to skip the remaining question? Yes, we already answered that. Oh, there is an error, so let's see. The following errors have occurred. The number of parents' family members you reported this year has changed significantly compared to the number reported last year. So I guess because we don't know what Harvey's information was last year. I might have flubbed it up. But if, for whatever reason, maybe your parents got married and now you have 3 step siblings and your grandparent has moved in with you, 2020 has been crazy for you. You can leave it if this is correct. If not, you can make changes to the white boxes. So we're going to check for errors again, because Harvey's life has changed significantly. Okay, now it will ask, are you the preparer? This is rare, so just answer no. Now you are towards the end. You're going to verify that all the information you provided is correct. As you're scrolling down, double check all the answers. At the very, very bottom, we're going to go to next. This is where you can sign the FAFSA electronically. If you have your FSA ID, which you already do because this is how you logged in, and your parent's FSA ID. Only one parent needs the FSA ID. So we are going to provide student signature. You just sign the box, read through this, agree, push next, sign the FAFSA. So there, Harvey has signed it. Now you will need to have your parents sign it. And when you click provide parent signature, they will read through that and agree. Now they will have to log in with their own FSA ID and their own FSA password. Now, if for whatever reason your parents do not have an FSA ID or were not able to create one, you can come down here where it says other options to sign and submit. And these are your 3 options. To sign electronically with the FSA ID, which we already talked about. You can print a signature page, or you can submit without signatures, which allows you to submit it, but you will have to come back and return it later. Or excuse me, return and sign it later. For this example, we're going to say print a signature page. Harvey's parent was unable to do it electronically. So now that we've selected that, we are going to click print signature page. It will show you what it looks like, and we are going to print that and print it. Okay. And now that we have printed it, we are going to come down to close. It shows that we are going to sign it, and now you can submit it. Okay, so it's going to show an error because this isn't a real account, but in the back you can see that it shows congratulations, it's been submitted. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to us. You can call or text 432-279-1301, and I hope this was helpful. Thank you.